Damn, I really don't even know how to start this video out. Why being real feels like a crime. To be honest, the only true thing that I could possibly say of why being real could possibly feel like a crime is a lot of people conform. They idolize public ideas, right? So one thing that I normally like to take into account is individuality, authenticity, purpose, stuff of that nature. But like, I'm starting to realize not everyone, and obviously my version of being real isn't the same as anybody else's, right? But it's just it's the idea of, so what is real? The realer you are, the more people you will lose around you, right? And that's not to say, oh, maybe you're getting boring, or maybe you're coming off a little too harshly, or it gets to a point where now you need to understand, like, okay, maybe being real takes different forms and stuff of that nature, but it'll have you wondering why people can't seem to understand that, right? And what I mean by this is, I've had a lot of friends in the past, not a lot of friends, but very close ones. I've had ones who left me for their own reasons. I had ones who left me for no reason. You feel me? I treat loyalty as something that's very stern. And I normally don't call certain homeboys my friends if they're really like a brother to me. You feel me? That means, like, I've had brothers literally take me into the house when I've gotten kicked out at 15 or some shit, or like I've had people give me food just straight out the ass, like if they don't even, like, I've had my homeboys pretty much be like, yo, just take this, go ahead and eat, and I could tell it's their last dollar or something. So I'm like, yo, no, that's real as hell. And I'm somebody where if you show me you got my back like that, I'm practically your number two. I'll be there for anything. Feel me? Like, shit, if it wasn't two of us and we had to fight 10 niggas, best believe we're gonna take out at least 6. That's how it's gonna go, feel me? But I'm realizing not everybody normally has this degree of realness or loyalty to a degree, feel me? That even goes with principles, understanding the ways of life, basic conversation with somebody on the street, human decency, stuff of that nature. And I'm seeing it more and more from like everything. Maybe it's where I put myself around, or maybe it's just certain things that I'm drawing into my life that's bringing this certain stuff to me. But I feel like every problem you come across, or every issue that you have come across, it could either be a point of reflection or it could be a point of reaction. Feel me? Now, what I mean by that is every time you give something a reaction, you're more so acting irrationally. Instead of thinking about it, understanding it, it doesn't mean you have to internalize it, but it does mean sit on it, reflect on it, see what you can learn from it, right? And as of recently, I've definitely caught myself in a lot of situations where all I do is may overreact, feel me? But I believe that comes with life, that comes with growth and everything of that nature. But I'm realizing a lot of people put understanding with emotions, right? It's not like there's a specific manner or there's a specific way that something can go. I kind of feel like situations are pretty fluid. And what I mean by that is there's a gray area. It's better to think about everything pretty logistically, with logic, instead of conforming to exactly how you feel. To me, it's particularly unreasonable. But I guess my point is that you don't force understanding where understanding can't be understood. You feel me? That's something I'm still learning at the end of the day. And I have to realize this even within myself. Like, you just got to buckle down, understand the situation for what it is. If you think that there's something wrong with this and you don't like this and there's not much else you could do to go about it, I would say try another way. Don't give up just right there. You feel me? But then again, if your common sense is practically telling you there's no, like, you shouldn't even keep going over this. This is kind of repetitive. I think the best thing you should do is listen to your instinct in that case. There was a quote I also read, feel me? It was about goodness is a threat to corrupted minds. Feel me? And that is something where goodness is a hard thing to come across these days. Everybody can see goodness in their own way. Goodness is really just a perception of view. You feel me? But to see pure intentions, to see things like as naturally as you possibly can be difficult. Not everybody is gonna love you. Not everybody is gonna celebrate you. I'll be honest. The reason why I even came up with this entire conversation of why it's a crime being real is because even I see certain things within my own family. I've seen certain things within people that I've called brothers, sisters, that have made me understand that being real is a rare thing. You feel me? And it's just sticking to your integrity. You get me? You always need to have hope. Think anything like it's just, it's bound to you or something, or like you're not going to be able to fix anything. Hope is the main thing. I guess another thing I'm trying to say is just protect your energy. You feel me? Protect your energy. At the end of the day, whether you see it as being real, whether you don't, who cares? Nobody else is going to agree with you but yourself. And that's just the way life goes, honestly, man. It doesn't matter how things are viewed, how things go. Just be yourself, live life, try and eat well, spend time with friends or family if you have any. If you don't, it's even better low-key because you get to figure out more about yourself. And that's always something you have to remember. Don't be scared of being alone. Don't be scared of what people might say about you or anything of that nature. The best time you could possibly understand yourself is within solitude. Because you're not conforming to a specific image. Everybody loves to be like, no, but what if I look like this, or what if I look like that? But then people also do this and they say that. People need to understand, like, individualism is okay. It's okay to be different. It's good to just understand what you want out of this. Understand what you want out of yourself. I'll be honest, I'm not really able to talk to a lot of people about the things that I think about within my head. Only because they either tell me that I'm overthinking, trying too hard, or causing myself to be depressed. And I believe some of that is true. I feel like depression now is kind of a choice. You get me? I believe the human mind is extremely powerful. It's able to tolerate a lot of stress before it actually breaks under pressure. Which means if you try and change your perception, if you try and see things from a better light, something different, like let's say you don't get a specific job. Maybe that wasn't your field. Maybe you should try something else, or maybe that wasn't the place you're supposed to work at. Maybe you should look somewhere else. That's an optimistic new growth point of view. You feel me? When you start feeling worthless and you start to question your own worth, it warps your perception of what's okay and what's not. Right? So you start looking for outside sources to reinforce the idea of what is okay. But that's how I kind of see it a little bit. The only reason why I say this is because, number one, I've never genuinely had too many friends in the first place. I was always the kid by myself. I didn't really start getting kind of popular until like sophomore, junior year of high school. I was never really the popular kid anyway. I was just a really athletic one. But it makes me understand now, especially because even though I'm pretty far within my adulthood. I'm like not far, but just starting, pretty deep. I'm like 23 years old, like I said. But a lot of times it makes me realize just how much more I need to learn and how much more faith I have to put into learning. You feel me? Like, all of us don't just grow up and become an adult. It's actually why I'm even having this conversation. You know, I'm thinking about whenever I do these specific videos, how I can progress myself, how I can learn more, you know, expand my brain and stuff like that. Yeah, but I've genuinely come to the realization or understanding that nobody's gonna care for you as much as you do. I mean, yeah, your parents are gonna be there for you, but I've been homeless 3 times before 17. Getting kicked in and out of my parents' home and stuff. Or practically left for dead in Africa once before. That's another story for another time. I guess to a certain degree, it's made me feel like, wow, like, you got to grow up pretty quick. You've had to understand all these things, but I didn't follow my own code. Hopefully starting this little YouTube journey, talking about certain things, just getting my mind out there, trying to figure things out as I go along will help me, you know? I thought to myself, if I'm not able to really talk to anybody, why not talk to a camera? Don't lose faith, don't lose hope. Pick up new skills if you can. You should always be striving to learn something. You should always be striving to try new things, to not make your life stand out, obviously, but do something that feels like you're progressing towards something with your own mission. Kind of like when you play video games. I love video games, feel me? But when you play video games, I lose myself with it. Let me use myself as an example. When I play video games, at first I used to use it as a distraction, something to grab me away from my problems and issues and stuff of that nature, right? I'm using the video game as an escape, and I should be seeing a video game kind of like a template. You're given a mission, you're given a goal, and you're gonna have challenges on your way to that goal. And the best way you could possibly do is just face them. You shouldn't run. You shouldn't try and disassociate. You shouldn't try and numb. You should just try and face them head on, 1000%. As of recently, I started putting my video games on hard because I'm like, yo, life is already set to legendary. Why not make the game a little more difficult to feel like it, right? That's my way of overcoming certain things and trying to find balance with what is supposed to be right for me. And I guess that's the real challenge. It's figuring out how you're supposed to do things while everything is seeming so stressful. And it's just about staying true to who you are, keep your integrity, see straight, have your goals in mind, try new things, write them down, get a journal, start drawing or something, or, you feel me, start making music. I like making music, feel me? Just do anything that doesn't support the idea of being too low, because that becomes your reality. The more things that you try to attempt, the more things that you try and do better for yourself, the more return you're most likely gonna have. It may take a while. Shit, I know everything's taking a while for me at this point in time, but always try and see the best things in life, even if it doesn't necessarily look right. I know the majority of people don't really have a strong relationship with God, or aren't really Christian and stuff of that nature. I would consider myself more spiritual, but there was something that my friend had told me. He said, and this is just me, he was like, see, I didn't really get into God from the very beginning because my family was extremely religious. They was like kind of strict about how the religion was supposed to be taken and what you're supposed to do, and then, you know, there was just too many rules and regulations to it. And then he said he seen something where it's like, instead of trying to appease God, try to build a relationship with him. He didn't say it exactly like that, but in my own words, it's like, don't seem like you have to conform a specific way of living just because it says this and it says that. Books are constantly rewritten, reiterated, you know. It's more so about building that strong relationship, having faith, praying. If you just want to literally just talk about anything, I would say talk to God about it. That sounds corny, but like, get where I'm coming from. A lot of us don't have people we can confide in. We don't have a lot of people who will probably listen to us and hear us out all the way, right? But praying to God has honestly kind of changed the way I kind of feel and see certain things. I feel like at first I didn't have a really strong relationship with him. I thought he was just doing me bad. I'm like, if God really loved us, why would he give me a life like this? Or why would he give a life like that to this person? Or why would he do this to these people? But there's just certain things beyond our comprehension that we can't fully understand right now. And it's not our job to understand. It's just to have faith and love. I don't have a great relationship with my father, so I don't talk to him. I'm still working on my relationship with my mother, but I don't confine with her. So I was like, the last person I should probably just try to, even if it seems like he's not responding back, is God, is the Lord. So if that's not something you're really interested in, I would say find a spiritual practice that aligns with you. Look for a higher hope, I would say. I hope the video was kind of like insightful, or like, you know, something that resonated with you. This is new for me. I'm trying something like really, really new. I'm gonna start like trying to make more YouTube videos. Maybe like, I also love music. I've been posting a lot of my music as of recently, so I might start trying to make some videos about that. Maybe some more slight rant topics or something. Vlogs, like I said earlier. But stay up, stay proud, love yourself always. At the end of the day, the last person you probably gonna sleep with, not like that, feel me? But the last person that you hit that bed with is yourself. Talk to yourself nicely. Love yourself.